Hi there, this is Michael with Buffalo Finances, and I wanted to just answer a question that came through, which is this: can business expenses become donations? If so, where on the tax return do you put this entry? There was an accountant that told me never to expense the donation under a business because it will create an audit. But I have a client that did make a donation from a business account, and everything is legit. Can you please advise me on this? So, what's the problem? To restate that a little less wordy, we have a business that donated to a charity. What do you do with that? Can businesses not do that? That's the question they have here. Of course, businesses can give to a charity. The IRS has rules for how you handle that, though, and it's not going to be the same in every circumstance. It's going to be different depending on what type of entity the business is. The circumstances are going to be different depending on what type of business you have. If you have an S corporation, then you file a special tax return for your S corporation. It's called an 1120S. You are not allowed to deduct that as a business expense on that tax return. What happens instead is it flows from the business to the owner. So the owner gets a K1 as a result of that tax return, and the donation goes on that K1. The K1 is then used to prepare the individual tax return for the owner. And that will happen for every owner that has that situation. So when I go through and I find a donation as a business expense, I have to take that out special, and I don't list it as a deduction for the business. I list it as a donation on the K1, and then that flows to the individual tax return. Now, what happens on the individual's tax return is it goes to the Schedule A for itemization. It's an itemized deduction for the owner. It's fine if the business paid the money, but that's not where it gets deducted. Just because you spend money in the business does not mean it's a deduction. All right. Now, if let's say you're not a S corp and you're a partnership, you're a 1095 instead of 1120S. If you're a partnership, similar situation, they're going to produce a K1 through their 1095 tax return. Sorry, 1065 tax return. Same situation for the K1 there. It gets put on the K1. Now, if you don't have an S corp and you're an LLC and a sole proprietor, then you don't have a special tax return for your business. You just have a Schedule C on your individual tax return, and that's not where you put a donation. You don't put your donations on Schedule C. That wouldn't be a qualified business expense. So you never put it there at all. You put it directly, instead of a Schedule C, you put it directly in a Schedule A, which is where it ends up no matter which circumstance you're in. So that's how it works for an S corp, for a partnership, and then a sole proprietor. If you are a C corp, the rules are really different, and we probably shouldn't cover it here because C corps are very, very special. But C corps are not pass-through entities like S corps or partnerships, and so they get taxed at the corporation level before distribution happens to the owners. So if you have questions about C corps, we'll cover that in a different time, but we'll stop there for now. You can donate through your business. It's just the donation is only deducted on your personal tax return, and it all flows through. This is Michael with Buffalo Finances. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.